No one who entered the house ever came back the same. Relax and enjoy the story, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment thanks. At the end of Maple Road in Willow Creek, there's a house people pretend not to see. It does not look very different from the others at first. It is wooden, 2 stories, a small front porch, a swing that hangs by rusted chains. But something about it feels wrong. The paint has faded to a dull gray. The grass grows too tall around it, even though no one tends it. The windows are always dark, even during the day. And no matter the season, the air near the house feels colder than the rest of the village. People in Willow Creek do not like to talk about it. When children ask questions, their parents change the subject. When newcomers mention buying it, real estate agents go quiet, because the house has a history. And the house remembers. Years ago, the Harper family lived there. They were not strange at first. They moved in like anyone else. They waved to neighbors. They attended church once or twice. Their daughter, Emily, was shy but polite. But slowly, things began to change. The curtains stayed closed all day. The porch light flickered at night. The father stopped going to work. The mother stopped answering the door. And Emily was no longer seen at all. Some neighbors claimed they heard crying late at night. Not loud, not violent, just soft crying like someone trying not to be heard. Others said they heard talking, not arguments, whispers, as if the family was speaking to someone else inside the house, someone who was not there. Then one morning, the Harpers were gone. No moving truck, no packed boxes, no note. The beds were made, the dishes were clean. The television was still warm, as if it had been turned off only minutes before. But the house was empty. At least that is what everyone believed. Sheriff Dalton searched the property carefully. He told the town council there were no signs of forced entry, no blood, no evidence of violence. Still, when he left the house that day, he looked pale. He never explained why. After that, the house was locked and left alone. But empty houses in small villages do not stay unnoticed for long. People began to report small things, lights turning on upstairs for a few seconds before going dark again, the porch swing moving gently at 3 a.m, footprints appearing in the dust inside the house, even though no one had entered. But the strangest reports were not about what people saw. They were about what they felt. Anyone who walked too close described the same sensation, a heaviness in the chest, a feeling of being watched, and sometimes the feeling that something inside the house recognized them, as if it knew their name. Years passed, and the house grew older. The wood rotted, the roof sagged, the paint peeled away, but it never collapsed. It simply waited. Then one summer, a young man named Caleb moved to Willow Creek with his parents. Caleb did not believe in fear without proof. When he heard the stories, he laughed. "It's just an old house," he said. One evening, just before dark, he decided to prove it. He walked down Maple Road alone. The village behind him was full of life. Lawnmowers humming, dogs barking, someone grilling dinner. But the closer he got to the house, the quieter everything became. The air felt still. Too still. The front door was slightly open. Caleb hesitated only a moment before stepping inside. The air smelled stale, like something long forgotten. The house was silent, not the peaceful silence of an empty building, but the kind of silence that listens. He walked slowly through the living room. Dust covered the furniture. Family photos still hung on the walls. In every photo, the faces of the parents were scratched out. Only Emily's face remained untouched, but her expression looked different in each frame. In one, she seemed sad. In another, she seemed afraid. In the last one, her smile looked almost knowing. Caleb felt uneasy, but he told himself it was imagination. Then he heard something upstairs, a soft thump, like someone shifting their weight. He froze. The sound came again, slow, careful, almost thoughtful. He swallowed and stepped toward the staircase. Each step creaked loudly under his feet. Halfway up, he felt it. A sudden rush of sadness, not his own, but something heavy, pressing into his chest. Memories that were not his began to flicker in his mind. Darkness, fear, the feeling of being trapped. He stumbled backward. The air around him felt tighter, harder to breathe. And then, very clearly, he heard a voice. Not from upstairs, not from outside, but from inside his own head. "You came back. Caleb's heart pounded. The voice was not loud. It was calm, almost relieved. He shook his head, trying to clear his thoughts. "I didn't come back," he whispered. The house seemed to exhale. The walls creaked softly. "You always come back," the voice said. And suddenly, Caleb understood something terrifying. The house did not trap people physically. It did not need to. It found the lonely, the curious, the ones who felt slightly out of place. And it filled that emptiness. It made them feel seen, wanted, needed. The sadness in his chest grew warmer, comforting. For a brief moment, Caleb did not want to leave. He felt understood inside that house. The loneliness he never admitted to anyone seemed lighter there. "You can stay," the voice whispered. "No one else listens." Caleb closed his eyes, and in that darkness, he saw flashes. The Harper family sitting silently at the dinner table. Emily staring at the basement door. The father slowly losing sleep. The mother speaking softly to empty corners. They had not been attacked. They had been absorbed, little by little, until there was nothing left of them but the house itself. Caleb's eyes snapped open. The front door was still visible at the end of the hallway. He forced his legs to move. Each step toward the door felt heavier, like walking through water. The voice did not scream. It did not threaten. It simply whispered, softer and softer. "Stay. Stay. Stay." Caleb reached the door and pulled it open. Warm evening air rushed in. The weight lifted instantly. He stepped outside and did not look back. The house stood silent once more, calm, patient. Caleb left Willow Creek the next week. He never told anyone what happened inside. But sometimes, late at night, he wakes up feeling that same heaviness in his chest. And for a moment, he misses the house. Because the most terrifying thing about the house at the end of Maple Road is not what lives inside it. It is how gently it invites you to stay. And in Willow Creek, everyone knows. The house does not chase you. It waits until you walk in on your own. If you find the story interesting, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment.